Hey everyone, I want to go over a strategy that I use to get organized at the beginning of the year and stay on top of my technique and make sure we're moving in the right direction in practice and covering the things that are really important to the team and to the success of my wrestlers. First thing I want to do is I want to make an outline of all the techniques, the series that we work, that our team works, that my wrestlers work. If you own the Ultimate Wrestling System, they have tiered outlines in the members area. You can print these off right here. If you don't own it, I would suggest making one. Sitting down one day, one afternoon, and outlining the different setups, different shots, finishes, turn series, your bottom work, and create an outline with all the things that your team that you want your team to get good at, or your wrestlers to get good at, and then take that outline and turn it into skill sets. And a skill set is something that you can realistically teach in one practice. All right, so take a note card and write down your skill sets, your different skill sets, and keep writing them out until you've covered everything on that outline that you think is important for your guys to get good at and have success. And then once you've created those skill sets, and each of them is on a note card, this is one practice worth, and you're guessing it. You might get through it, you might not. Then you want to tier it out. You got one pile that is just the most important techniques, the things that your guys have to know, and then you got another pile of things that are important, all right, but they're not quite the as important as that first pile. And the third pile is kind of fluff stuff that you want your guys to know, but probably they don't. It's not going to make or break them. So you got those three piles. And you want to work through that first pile as fast as you can. You want to get through it, make sure your guys understand it, teach it at practice, and turn those into drills as quickly as possible. And that way, first you teach it to them, they understand these skill sets, and then you turn them into drills so that you can work those multiple times in a week. You can throw them in at the beginning of practice in some quick drills, or before you use it as a warm-up before you live wrestle, or in conditioning. You can click through these little series, these little drills that cover these skill sets, because these are the things that, like shot defense. You don't want to just show shot defense at the beginning of the year and forget about it. You want to make sure your guys know, if somebody gets to their legs, they know exactly how to stop it, and it's instinctive. So work through that first tier, turn them into drills as fast as you can. Make sure they know what they're doing, and then routinely go through those drills. Then you get in that second tier, and some of those will be turned into drills as well. Some of them will just need to be taught regularly. And then the third tier is, it's kind of techniques or skill sets that, you probably show them once in a while, expose them to. Maybe not the whole team uses them, or, it's not going to make or break the team if they're not really, really good at those. And then make sure, every practice you're documenting. You got to have an outline, write down your techniques. You go over your drills, your live wrestling, your conditioning, what you want to talk to the team about beforehand. You don't have to have it outline. You can just grab a notebook and tear a sheet of paper out and write it down, but document it. That way, if you get busy, you haven't had a chance to plan practice, you got these stacks of note cards, most important, and kind of fluff skill sets. You can still stay on track. You can look at your outline real quick. Okay, we've covered this recently. We haven't covered this. Okay, we haven't gotten through this whole stack of the most important skill sets that we need. We need to do this today. We need to work this drill. We haven't, the team hasn't been looking so good in this area. And you can stay organized real quick. So, if you sit down for an afternoon before the season gets going, map these things out. You can be sure to stay on track, and then once the season gets going and you start hitting up competitions, it's going to change a little bit. So you're not going to be able to plan too far out, because you're going to have to evaluate your competition, see what they need to work on. But you can go right back to these note cards and these skill sets and these drills, and pull from those and create your practices quickly, rather than just reinventing the wheel every single practice or trying to figure things out over and over again. So that's a strategy I use to stay organized, to make sure I know where I'm going to start off the season, and things are always changing. I can't ever map out too far, and I don't always get through a whole skill set, or maybe I cover more than I plan on. I get a little bit more in there, but this will give you a good starting point and a good reference point if you get busy later in the year. Make sure you don't waste practices just because you're not prepared. You can throw something together that really matters very quick with this little strategy right here.